Well, since Octopath Traveler is right on the horizon, it's about to come out, looks like this glorious and beautiful looking 2.5 HD JRPG, we decided we're going to talk about our favorite JRPGs. And I'm starting off with my favorite. I've already said it as my favorite. It's Chrono Cross. I love Chrono Cross. I loved Chrono Trigger too. It's almost an equal love in my eyes, but Chrono Cross, I don't know, there's just something about it. I love it so much. It's probably because I played it like a million times, because I still don't fully understand the plot. And that's the beauty of it, is that any plot hole in the game is kind of justified, because it's like a hole for a reason to hold the rest of it together. It's very weird and sounds like a big cop-out, but they do it in a very non-cop-out way. And it's the typical JRPG formula. Like, you start out as just this kid on an adventure fighting monsters for some reason, and then you just, like, shit spirals out of control and you are just, like, in it to win it for the planet. And, I mean, except this one is for the whole, like, multiverse, more or less, because you're passing through dimensions, and one you're dead, one you're not, and it's very weird and complex. A lot of people like to say all the characters were just, like, meh at best, and, I mean, for the most part, they're right. A lot of the characters are just, like, not that great. Like, I mean, Fungi, really, Mushroom. But the ones that are good are damn good, and they just speak to how good the game is, because Fargo is one of the most complex characters, and he's one of the best, like, badass pirates with a heart of gold that I've ever seen. I mean, Surge is an amazing protagonist, Kid is awesome, Karsh is amazing, Glenn is also amazing. Pretty much, like, anyone who's mainly in the story is great, and that's why Chrono Cross is my favorite, because the gameplay is very specific. It is easy to pick up, but very difficult to master, and very deep, and you can just spend hours and hours in that game, plus the replayability of each diverging path, getting different characters each playthrough makes it very worth it to play, and that is why Chrono Cross is, and probably will always be, my favorite JRPG of all time. Overall, I would have to go with Final Fantasy VII. Like, it's an oldie, but it's a tried and true good one. Like, the combat system is pretty awesome. I loved it. The limit breaks and everything. The materia system is great. A lot of, like, weapons and things like that were cool. The weapons themselves, the giant monsters, those were awesome. That was the first time I'd ever had, like, just an enormous boss that I was afraid of that you could encounter. And, like, the plot was great. The whole Sephiroth and Jenova thing was awesome. Sephiroth is a great bad guy. And overall, the plot flows really well. And except for Kate Sith, I like all of the characters, which rarely happens. Normally, I'm just using people because they're useful. But I was just like, oh yeah, I haven't played around with Yuffie in a while. I'm going to go steal some stuff. And, oh, Barrett's awesome. I'm going to keep using him. And, like, there was just such a variety of options. Like, you had that tower defense game that was kind of fun. I didn't do it a whole lot, but there was just so much aspects of the gameplay, and I'm really curious to see if the remake ever happens, how much they mess it up, because I doubt they can capture the majesty of the original game.
Favorite JRPG? Chrono Trigger. Easily. Favorite game of all time. Next. Alright, I'll tell you why. I love talking about Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is the most beautiful and amazing game that has ever graced any system ever. It has the coolest cast of characters, not one of which is bad. The worst one, I guess, is Lucca. She's not even bad. She's cool. She's a scientist. It has the greatest, but also most simple, like, time travel story I've ever witnessed. Like, you see what you're doing in the world and affecting things. Like, the best example is when you leave Robo behind, and when you're traveling through time to go get him, you can, like, see him plowing the fields and stuff like that and saving the forest. And that was one of my favorite moments from that game. But I guess the coolest part, besides the characters and story, would be the music. The music is completely and utterly superb. It is my favorite soundtrack of any game I've ever played. And basically everything about Chrono Trigger is my favorite of any game I've ever played. I love it so much. And it starts off lighthearted enough. A guy and a girl bump into each other, and then he goes to jail or whatever. And, you know, not that lighthearted, but it's pretty standard stuff. And then they go to the future while they're running from the law, and the world is destroyed. And then they find out why the world is destroyed, and they're like, wow, let's stop this thing. And that's where the real time travel adventure begins. It's amazing. It is, seriously, it's so good. Everyone loves it, and if they don't, they're stupid. And it's just the best. And if you haven't played it, go do it. If you haven't played it, go do it, because there's a lot of different endings. It's fine. Go play it again. It's amazing. I'm going to go play it again right now.
Hey, thanks for watching. Did you like the video? Why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? It really helps us grow the channel. And don't forget to ring that bell to join our notification squad. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I put the links in the description just to make it easier for you to get to. And we will catch you next time for the next video from the Bro Trio.